Commander Hannah Kong stared at the planet through the window of her ship. Kepler 442d looked like a ball of angry storms and dark clouds. It was the last planet that no one had ever mapped. Every other dangerous world in space had been explored except this one. "The computers say this planet will kill us," said Lieutenant Doyen Park. He was looking at his screen with worried eyes. "The air pressure is 60 times stronger than Earth. The winds move at 800 kilometers per hour. 3 alien teams tried to land here before. They all disappeared." Hannah did not look away from the planet. She had short black hair and calm eyes that never showed fear. "Those aliens came from easy worlds," she said. "They breathe different air and live on planets with weak gravity. We are different. We are from Earth." Earth was known across the galaxy as a death world. Most aliens thought humans were crazy for living there. Earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanoes, dangerous animals, diseases that could kill millions. Other species lived on calm planets where nothing tried to kill them. But humans grew up fighting to survive every single day. Corporal Jaiwan Lee walked over to Hannah. She was the leader of the soldiers on the ship. "Commander, why are we doing this? The Galactic Council says we should leave this planet alone." Hannah smiled a little. "The Council can say what they want. We did not ask for permission. We are going down there because that is what humans do. We go where others are too afraid to go." She pointed at the screen. Their probes had sent back one picture before they broke. The picture showed strange buildings on the planet's surface. Buildings that should not exist on such a dangerous world. "Someone built something down there," Hannah said. "And we are going to find out who and why." Dr. Yunji Kwan, the team scientist, studied the picture closely. Her hands shook with excitement. These buildings looked like they were made by the ancient builders. They were a species that lived millions of years ago. They were so advanced that some people think they became gods. But no one knows what happened to them. "Why would they build on a planet that tries to kill everything?" asked Doyen. Hannah thought about this. Maybe they did not just build here. Maybe they made the planet dangerous on purpose. Like they were hiding something important. She turned to face her crew. 23 humans stood ready. They all knew this mission was dangerous. They all knew they might die. But they all volunteered anyway because that is what humans did. "Get the landing shuttles ready," Hannah ordered. "We go down in 3 hours. Bring the strongest armor and weapons. This planet does not want visitors, but we are going anyway." The crew rushed to prepare. Hannah walked to her cabin and looked at a picture of Earth on her wall. Beautiful blue oceans, green forests, white clouds. It looked peaceful in the picture. But she knew the truth. Earth had tried to kill humans for thousands of years. Predators, poisons, extreme cold, extreme heat, deadly bacteria, natural disasters. Humans survived all of it. That is why humanity was different from other species in space. Other aliens evolved on safe worlds. They never had to fight for survival. They built advanced technology and comfortable lives. But humans? Humans learned to survive in hell. They learned to adapt, to fight, to never give up no matter what. 3 hours later, Hannah sat in the landing shuttle with her team. They wore heavy armor that could protect them from crushing pressure and toxic air. The shuttle shook violently as it entered the atmosphere. "Hold on," shouted the pilot. "The winds are pushing us off course." Through the window, Hannah saw the nightmare below. Black rocks, red rain that could melt metal, lightning that moved in strange patterns. The most dangerous planet in known space. But Hannah was not afraid. She was excited. Because humans were born on a death world. And now they were going to explore another one. The shuttle crashed hard into the ground but did not break. The door opened and Hannah stepped out onto Kepler 442d. The real mission was just beginning. The air outside was thick like soup. Even through her helmet, Hannah could hear the planet screaming. Wind roared like a monster. Lightning cracked across the red sky. Rain fell that burned through metal like acid. "This place wants us dead," said Jaiwan. She held her gun ready and looked around carefully. Doyen checked his computer. His eyes went wide. "Commander, everything here is alive. The rocks, the air, even the rain. This whole planet is one giant living thing." Hannah looked at the ground under her boots. It moved slightly like it was breathing. She had explored many dangerous places before but never anything like this. "There," said Yunji. She pointed at tall crystal towers about 200 meters away. "My scanner shows energy coming from those towers. The same energy the ancient builders used." "Then we walk there," Hannah decided. "Stay close together. Watch for anything that moves." They started walking. Each step was hard. The gravity pulled at them stronger than Earth. The wind tried to push them over. The rain left burn marks on their armor. Suddenly the ground exploded. A huge creature burst out. It looked like a giant worm made of rock with many sharp legs. It had no eyes but turned toward them like it could feel them. "Shoot it!" Jaiwan yelled. They fired their weapons. The bullets bounced off the creature's hard skin. It rushed at them, making a sound like breaking stones. Private Salman Han ran forward with a bomb. "Get back!" she screamed. She threw the bomb under the creature and ran. The explosion lifted the creature into the air. Jaiwan shot at its soft belly. The creature fell down dead. "Move! Move!" Hannah ordered. There might be more. They ran toward the crystal towers. Up close, Hannah saw the towers were not natural. They had tiny patterns all over them that glowed blue. They looked grown instead of built. At the center of the towers was a round hole in the ground. It went down into darkness. "What does your scanner say?" Hannah asked. Doyen looked at his computer. "The air down there is safe to breathe. Normal pressure. Comfortable temperature. Someone made a safe place down there." "Or a trap," Jaiwan said quietly. Hannah turned on her helmet light. "Let us find out." She went down first. The tunnel was smooth and curved like a spiral. The walls had glowing patterns that got brighter as they walked closer. After going down for several minutes, the tunnel opened into a huge room. Hannah stopped and could not speak. The room was so big she could not see the ceiling. Tall pillars of crystal technology rose up into shadows. Screens appeared on the walls showing maps of stars, pictures of strange creatures, and words in languages no one could read. In the center of the room floated a black ball. It absorbed all light like a hole in space. As they walked closer, the ball started to change. Light traced across it, making symbols. Then the symbols changed into words. Words in English. "Welcome, children of Earth. We have been waiting." Hannah felt her heart beat faster. The screens changed and showed people who looked almost human but taller and wiser. "The ancient builders." A voice spoke from the black ball. "If you hear this, our experiment worked. You are survivors from a death world. You can live through things that would kill softer species. You are humanity. You have found the archive of the fallen." The screens showed cities burning and species dying. Whole planets turned to dust. Every 50,000 years, it comes. The silence. A force that destroys all species who become too comfortable. Who forget how to fight and survive. We tried to stop it. We failed. The recording showed the ancient builders fighting with weapons and ships beyond anything humans had ever built. But they all turned to dust. So we made this vault. We made this world so dangerous that only the strongest could find it. We waited for a species tough enough to survive. Strong enough to reach us. The ball glowed brighter and focused on Hannah. "You are from Earth. A natural Class 9 death world. You are the only space-traveling species to come from a planet that should have killed you. Your existence proves we were right. Only those who learn to live in hell can survive what is coming." New screens opened showing technologies and weapons and knowledge from hundreds of dead civilizations. "This archive holds everything we saved. Knowledge from 200 species that died fighting the silence. It is yours now. Your inheritance. Because the silence is waking up again. And this time the galaxy will need survivors to teach it how to fight." The voice stopped. The room became quiet. Hannah looked at her team. Everyone was afraid but also amazed. "Commander," Doyen whispered. "What do we do now?" Hannah stared at the endless information from dead civilizations. A warning that hung in the air like a sword ready to fall. "We do what humans always do," she said. "We survive. And we help everyone else survive too." Hannah touched the black ball with her gloved hand. Immediately, thousands of screens lit up around the room. Information poured out like a waterfall. She saw genetic codes, weapon designs, star maps, and histories of species she had never heard of. "This is incredible," Yunji whispered. She stared at a screen showing the biology of an alien race with 6 arms. "These are complete records. Everything about how they lived, what they knew, how they thought." Doyen was looking at different screens. His face became pale. "Commander, I am reading files on 200 extinct civilizations. All of them were more advanced than us. All of them had better technology. And all of them died." "How did they die?" Jaiwan asked. The black ball pulsed and a new recording played. An alien that looked like a floating jellyfish appeared. It spoke and the ball translated. "We were the architects. We built cities that touched the stars. We had medicine that cured every disease. No one in our species knew hunger or pain or fear. Life was perfect." The recording showed beautiful cities with towers of glass and light. Aliens walking in parks with no weapons or armor. Children playing without worry. Then the silence came. We did not see it approach. We did not hear warnings. One day our ship stopped working. Our computers went dark. Our bodies became weak. Within 1 year, all 70 billion of us were gone. The cities in the recording turned to ruins. Bodies lay in streets. Everything became dust. Another recording started. This time a species that looked like giant insects. We were warriors. We conquered 100 star systems. Our weapons could destroy planets. Our soldiers never lost a battle. We thought we were unbeatable. The recording showed massive war fleets and armies of millions. The silence did not fight us. It simply made us forget why we fought. Our soldiers put down their weapons. Our ships drifted in space. We became confused and lost. In 2 years we were extinct. More recordings played. Each one showed a different species. Each one told the same story. Advanced civilizations that became comfortable and safe. Then the silence came and destroyed them all. I do not understand, said Salmon. What is the silence? Is it a weapon? A disease? An enemy we can fight? The black ball glowed and answered. The silence is not a thing. It is a law of nature. Like gravity or time. Every 50,000 years, it removes species that have stopped struggling. Species that have made life too easy. Species that have forgotten how to adapt and survive. Hannah felt cold inside. So it kills civilizations that become too peaceful? Too advanced? Yes, because comfort makes species weak. When life is easy, you stop learning. You stop growing. You forget the skills that kept your ancestors alive. The silence removes the weak so new species can rise. Yunji looked at the endless screens of dead civilizations. But that is not fair. These species worked for thousands of years to build good lives. Why should they die for succeeding? Nature does not care about fair, the ball replied. Only the strong survive. That is the oldest law. Doyen pulled up a new screen. His hands were shaking. Commander, look at this. According to these records, Earth is classified as a Class 9 death world. Only 3 other Class 9 worlds exist in the entire galaxy. And none of them produced intelligent life except Earth. What does that mean? Jaiwan asked. It means humans should not exist, Yunji said slowly. Earth tried to kill our ancestors every single day. Ice ages, supervolcanoes, meteor strikes, predators with teeth longer than knives, diseases that killed millions. 99.9% of all species that ever lived on Earth went extinct. But somehow humans survived everything. The black ball pulsed again. Exactly. That is why you are here. The ancient builders studied death worlds for millions of years. They learned that only species from death worlds keep their survival instincts. Other species from safe planets always become soft. Always forget how to fight. Always die when the silence comes. A new recording played. This time it showed Earth. Humans living in caves, hunting with stone tools, surviving ice and fire and endless dangers. The ancient builders found Earth 300,000 years ago. They saw humans struggling to survive. They saw humans adapt to every environment. Deserts, jungles, frozen tundras, high mountains. Humans learned to live everywhere. They never stopped fighting. The recording showed humans spreading across Earth. Building cities, making weapons, reaching for the stars. So the ancient builders made a plan. They created this vault on the most dangerous planet they could make. A planet so deadly that only a death world species could reach it. They filled it with all their knowledge. Then they waited for humans to evolve and find it. Hannah understood now. We are the backup plan. The species chosen to fight the silence. Yes, and the silence is returning. Our calculations show it will arrive in 500 years. Maybe less. Jaiwan gripped her gun tighter. Then we need to prepare. We need to share this information with the Galactic Council. Every species needs to get ready. The black ball dimmed slightly. But will they listen? The Council species live on comfortable worlds. They have not fought for survival in thousands of years. They have forgotten how. Hannah looked at her team. Then she looked at the vast archive of knowledge around them. Knowledge that could save the galaxy or doom it if used wrong. Then we teach them, she said firmly. Humans survived because Earth never let us forget danger. Now we help the galaxy remember how to survive. She activated her communicator. This is Commander Kong to the Magellan. Begin full data download from this location. And send a message to Galactic Council headquarters. Tell them we found something. Something that changes everything. Outside the vault, the death world raged. But inside, humanity had just become the galaxy's last hope. 2 days after Hannah sent her message, 20 ships appeared in orbit around Kepler 442d. But they were not all friends. Commander, we have multiple vessels approaching, said Ensign Miho from the Magellan. I count Council peacekeepers, corporate raiders from the Tech and Mining Guild, and a separatist fleet. They all want the vault. Hannah stood in the archive chamber looking at the screens. She had known this would happen. Knowledge this powerful would make everyone greedy and afraid. How long until they arrive? She asked. The first ships will be here in 3 hours. Jaiwan checked her weapon and looked at Hannah. We cannot fight that many ships. We are only one small exploration vessel. We do not need to fight them in space, Hannah said with a cold smile. We fight them down here. On this death world. Let the planet do half the work for us. She turned to Doyen. Can you trigger the storm systems? Make them worse. Doyen looked at his computer. The planet's weather is connected to underground energy fields. If I overload certain points, yes, I can create massive electrical storms. But it will make the whole planet even more dangerous. Good. Do it. Yunji, can we use the vault's technology? Yunji was studying the ancient builder weapons on the screens. Some of these designs are millions of years ahead of us. But this one here, it is simpler. A directed energy pulse that disrupts electronic systems. I think I can build a prototype in 2 hours. Build 3. Jaiwan, get your soldiers ready. We are going to teach these raiders what happens when you invade a death world. The first ship to land was a corporate raider vessel. 40 mercenaries in expensive armor marched out toward the crystal towers. They had advanced scanners and heavy weapons. They made it 50 meters before the planet attacked. The ground erupted and 3 of the rock creatures burst out. The mercenaries fired, but their weapons barely scratched the creatures. 5 mercenaries died in the first 30 seconds. Fall back to the ship, their commander screamed. But Doyen had triggered the storm systems. Lightning fell from the sky like rain. It struck the mercenary ship and fried its engines. The ship exploded in a ball of fire. The surviving mercenaries ran in panic. The creatures chased them. Only 7 made it to shelter alive. The second wave came from the separatist fleet. They tried to be smarter. They sent drones ahead to scan for dangers. But Yunji activated the ancient builder weapon from inside the vault. An invisible pulse spread across the area. Every drone fell from the sky dead. Now, Hannah ordered. Sergeant Juno and his team had positioned themselves in the crystal towers. They had brought the planet's acid rain in containers. When the separatists marched past, they poured the rain down on them. The acid burned through armor. Men screamed and ran. Those who tried to fight back could not see their attackers through the thick red air. Meanwhile, more ships kept landing. A council peacekeeper vessel touched down and tried to negotiate. Commander Kong, this is Captain Vrel of the Council Guard. You must surrender the vault. This knowledge is too dangerous for one species to control. Hannah activated her communicator. Captain Vrel, you come from a garden world where the biggest danger is a light rain. Your species has not fought for survival in 10,000 years. You have no idea how to use this knowledge. We are authorized to take it by force if necessary. Then come and try. Captain Vrel sent 200 soldiers. They were well trained and equipped with the best council technology. But they had never fought on a death world before. Hannah's team used every advantage. They led the council soldiers into areas where the ground was unstable. Soldiers fell into cracks that opened suddenly. They triggered volcanic vents that released burning gas. They used the wind to push enemies off cliffs. When the council soldiers tried to use their advanced sensors, the planet's electromagnetic field confused them. When they tried to call for air support, the storms made flying impossible. Private Salmon fought like a demon. She moved through the red fog using only sound and instinct. Skills she learned growing up in the mountains of Earth. She killed 5 council soldiers before they even knew she was there. How are they doing this? Captain Vrel screamed into his radio. They are outnumbered 10 to 1. His second officer replied from the battlefield. Sir, they are using the environment as a weapon. This planet is killing more of our soldiers than they are. We need to retreat. But retreating was not easy. The storms had grown worse. Ships trying to take off were hit by lightning or thrown into mountains by the wind. Inside the vault, Yunji made a discovery. She had been studying the ancient builder weapons when she found something shocking. Commander, I found something in the genetic records. The ancient builders did not just find Earth by accident. They modified it. 300,000 years ago, they made Earth more dangerous on purpose. Hannah felt her blood turn cold. What do you mean? They introduced certain viruses and bacteria. They triggered volcanic activity. They pushed Earth from a Class 7 death world to a Class 9. They wanted to create the ultimate survivor species. They created the conditions that forced humans to become what we are. So we are not natural. We are an experiment. Yes. An experiment in creating unkillable survivors. And it worked. A massive explosion shook the vault. Hannah looked at her monitors. A separatist ship had fired missiles at the entrance. They are trying to collapse the vault, Doyen shouted. If they cannot have it, they will destroy it. Hannah made a decision. She activated the vault's defense systems. Technology that had been sleeping for millions of years woke up. The crystal towers all across the planet began to glow. Energy beams shot into the sky. They were not meant to kill but to disable. Every hostile ship in orbit suddenly lost power. They drifted helplessly in space. This is Commander Kong to all vessels. Stop fighting or I will let this planet kill you all. The vault stays under human protection. Anyone who wants access must negotiate peacefully. Silence followed. Then one by one the ships agreed. 3 hours later, reinforcements arrived from Earth. 5 human warships entered orbit. Their commander contacted Hannah. Commander Kong, this is Admiral Taewon Song. The Council has agreed to human stewardship of Kepler 442d. They have no choice. You proved that only humans can survive here. Hannah looked around at her team. They were tired, wounded, but alive. They had defended the vault against impossible odds. Permission to rename the planet, Admiral? Granted. From now on, Kepler 442d will be called Prometheus Station. The place where humanity brings fire to the galaxy. Outside, the death world continued to rage. But humanity had claimed it. And nothing would take it from them. 6 months passed since the battle for Prometheus Station. The galaxy was not the same anymore. Hannah stood on a platform overlooking the training grounds. Below her, 30 alien soldiers struggled through an obstacle course designed by humans. They wore heavy armor and carried full packs. The course included climbing walls, crossing acid pools, and surviving simulated predator attacks. A Vrelian cadet collapsed after only 10 minutes. His instructor, Sergeant Juno, walked over and looked down at him. On your feet, soldier. On my world, children do this before breakfast. The Vrelian gasped for air. This is impossible. My species was not made for this. Your species was made on a planet with 0.3 gravity and no predators, Juno said. That is why the silence will kill you first. Now get up or go home. The Vrelian stood up and kept going. This was the new reality. Prometheus Station had become the first multi-species survival academy. Aliens from across the galaxy came here to learn what humans knew. How to adapt. How to survive. How to fight when everything wanted you dead. Hannah walked to the command center where Doyen was working. Screens showed progress reports from 50 different research teams. They were studying the ancient builder technology and sharing it carefully with council species. How is the genetic program going? Hannah asked. Doyen pulled up charts and diagrams. Dr. Kwan's team has identified the modifications needed to strengthen other species. Nothing too dramatic. Just small changes to make their bodies more resilient. The Tekken have already volunteered to be the first test subjects. And the weapon development? Slower. The ancient builder weapons are powerful but dangerous. We are being very careful about who gets access. Admiral Song has established strict protocols. Hannah nodded. Humanity had taken on a huge responsibility. They were not just protecting the vault anymore. They were preparing the entire galaxy for a threat that would not arrive for 500 years. Yunji entered the command center carrying data tablets. She looked tired but excited. Commander, we found something new in the archives. Records of previous cycles. This is not the first time the silence has come. It has happened 11 times before. Each time, civilizations died because they were not ready. But the ancient builders were ready, Hannah said. They knew it was coming. Why did they still lose? Because they tried to fight it with technology alone. They built bigger weapons and stronger shields. But the silence does not care about weapons. It attacks the mind and spirit. It makes species forget why they survive. The ancient builders became so advanced that they forgot how to struggle. Hannah understood. So technology is not enough. Species need to stay tough. Stay hungry. Never become too comfortable. Exactly. That is why they chose humans. We never had the luxury of comfort. A message came through on Hannah's communicator. It was from the Galactic Council headquarters. Commander Kong, this is Counselor Prex. We have a situation. The Valen Republic refuses to participate in the survival training. They say their advanced medical technology makes them immune to the silence. Hannah sighed. Some species still did not understand. They thought they were special. That the rules did not apply to them. Tell the Valen Republic they can do what they want. But when the silence comes, humanity will remember who prepared and who did not. She ended the communication and looked out at Prometheus Station. In 6 months, humans had built training facilities, research labs, and defensive platforms. They had turned the most dangerous planet in the galaxy into a fortress of knowledge. More importantly, they had changed how other species thought about survival. The Scarth Collective, who used to live in crystal cities where nothing ever went wrong, had started teaching their children basic survival skills. The Vrelian Empire, who bred soldiers in comfort and safety, now sent their cadets to harsh environments for training. Even the advanced architects, descendants of the species that once mastered genetics, were rethinking their comfortable lifestyles. Humanity's philosophy was spreading. Comfort kills civilizations. Challenge creates survivors. Jaiwan approached Hannah on the platform. She had been promoted to training commander and now oversaw all the alien soldiers. Commander, we just received word. 5 more species want to send cadets to Prometheus Station. We are running out of space. Then we build more facilities. And we find other death worlds to use as training grounds. If the galaxy is going to survive, we need training stations on every dangerous planet we can find. Jaiwan smiled. Humans as the survival teachers of the galaxy. Our ancestors would never believe it. Our ancestors survived ice ages with stone tools, Hannah replied. They would understand perfectly. That evening, Hannah received a private communication from Admiral Song. Commander, I have news. The Council has officially appointed you as Ambassador General of Death World Operations. You will lead expeditions to map and utilize every hostile world in Council space. They want you to build a network of survival stations. Hannah felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. That is a huge task, Admiral. Yes. But if anyone can do it, humans can. We survived Earth. We claimed Prometheus Station. Now we help the galaxy remember how to be strong. After the communication ended, Hannah walked outside. The planet's storms raged in the distance. Lightning painted the sky in patterns of purple and white. The ground trembled with seismic activity. The air was still toxic and the rain still burned metal. But humans walked across this hell like it was home. A young Vrelian cadet approached her. He saluted clumsily, still learning human customs. Ambassador Kong, I wanted to thank you. Before I came here, I thought my species was advanced and powerful. But Prometheus Station taught me we were weak. We had forgotten how to struggle. You reminded us. Hannah looked at the young alien. 6 months ago, he probably could not have survived 1 hour on this planet. Now he stood in the storm without fear. Remember this feeling, she told him. Remember that survival is a skill you must practice every day. Teach your people. Make them strong. I will. I promise. The cadet walked away to join his squad. Hannah watched him go and felt something like hope. The silence would come eventually. In 500 years or maybe less. When it arrived, it would find a galaxy very different from the ones before. It would find species who remembered how to fight, how to adapt, how to survive against impossible odds. It would find a galaxy trained by humans. Hannah smiled and looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, the silence was waking. But this time the galaxy would be ready. Because humanity had mapped the last death world. And in doing so they had changed everything. The end.